Hi everyone, welcome back to Infinite Math Help Squared. This video is going to demonstrate how we can have equivalent expressions in general, but it specifically came up when I was covering scale factor with my 8th grade. So we're looking at these two expressions right here. These are equivalent expressions. 4 times a half is the same as 4 dividing by 2. And I'm using Braining Camp to demonstrate this because Braining Camp does a very nice job of helping students understand fractions. Whether you are adding them, dividing, or multiplying them, it's basically digital tiles over here. You can use blank ones if you wanted to. I'm using the pre-filled ones because I wanted to demonstrate 4 times a half. Let's demonstrate 4 times a half. I'm doing that one first because scale factor has to be in terms of multiplication. If the blue triangle here on my left is the original copy, the pre-image, and I make a scaled copy or dilate so that it's shrunk, and the green one becomes my image. So then my height now is 2, even though it used to be 4. If I want to know what my scale factor is, I have to do it in terms of multiplication. What do I multiply each side length by to get the image? Well, if I was to say 2, 4 times 2 is 8, not 2. So my scale factor has to be a half. Why? Because 4 halves is the same thing as 2. And I want my result to be 2. So if you take a look at these tiles, I have a half, plus a half, plus a half, plus a half. Remember, multiplication is repeated addition. And according to my problem, I have 4 sets of a half. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, what's my total? A half and a half is a whole. A half and a half is a whole. 1 plus 1 is 2. So this proves our scale factor is a half. 4 halves is 2. Now, why is that the same as dividing by 2? Because sometimes people want to say 2 instead. Common misunderstanding because you look at the numbers 4 and 2 and you're like, oh, 4 divided by 2 is 2. Now, that's not wrong, but if you're being asked what the scale factor is, you have to do it in terms of multiplication. So I can't say my scale factor is 2. We proved this before, right? 4 times 2 would give me 8, but I'm looking for 2. Now, what about the 4 divided by 2? Let's take a look at the 4 divided by 2. I'm going to use my own drawings for the whole, because if I use the whole in the Braining Camp, it will run off the screen and you will not be able to see it. So let's do this. Let's draw 4 holes. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4. And obviously, if I'm using these tiles, this is, oops. These are not holes compared to my other tiles, but like I said, if I use the hole that's here, it's going to run off the page. Okay, I have 4, and according to this expression down here, I am supposed to divide 4 into 2 groups. And they have to be equal groups because that's what division does, right? Dividing cuts things into equal groups. So if I was to take these 4 holes and break it up into 2 equal groups, I would have one group here, and I can have one group here, and they're equal because there's 2 in each. So what is 4 divided by 2? It's 2. And we demonstrated that 4 halves is also 2. So therefore, these are equivalent expressions. They are equivalent to one another. You can even get fancy and you can write it as 4 times a half is the same as 4 divided by 2. This is true. Why is it true? Because 2 equals 2. And this is why multiplying by a half is the same as dividing by 2. Here is a visual representation. And we can actually do that with another number, but I didn't want to make the video too long. Try it with other numbers. Try it with, let's say, what happens if I have 6 times a third. Is that the same as 6 divided by 3? Try it out. If you have Braining Camp, because your school owns it, try it out. See if it helps you. If it doesn't, you can. They usually let you do a free trial, or you can just make your own tiles like I did over here. Right? There's no need to go into all that. Just get your own space and draw your own tiles and experiment. See if it holds true. Can you write equivalent expressions? All right. Until next time, guys.